Hi busy friend, my name is Huet and I am a safe skincare advocate with a background in pharmacy. Welcome to my channel where you'll find nuggets of wisdom about skin, skincare, and skin concerns you might have as a person of color. If you're like most people, the thing you pay attention to when buying a sunscreen is sunscreen sun protection factor, also known as SPF. In theory, sunscreen with super high SPF should give you the best protection against damaging radiation, right? SPF of 100 sounds like you'll get twice as much protection from SPF 50. A no-brainer, right? Wrong. In reality, higher SPF products are only marginally better at shielding you from UVB and have nothing to do with UVA, ironically. SPF is actually the measurement of how well a sunscreen protects your skin from UVB rays, and it's not meant to help you determine duration of exposure. Say it took 300 seconds for your skin to burn with sunscreen and 10 seconds to burn without it. 300 is divided by 10, which is 30. The SPF that suits your skin would be 30. Each minute wearing SPF 30 sunscreen lotion, you get 1/30th or 3.33% of UV exposure that you would get without lotion. Subtracting that 3.33 percentage points from 100, you're protected from 97% of UVB rays with SPF 30 sunscreen. Buying SPF 80 improves on SPF 30, but not by much. Upgrading again to SPF 100, which blocks 99% of UVB rays, but compared to SPF 80, it's really only a quarter of a percentage point better. As you can see, SPF scale is not linear. So one way of looking at it is that SPF 30 sunscreen only gives you 4% more protection than SPF 15 sunscreen would. SPF 30 blocks 96.7% of UVB rays and allows 3 out of 100 photons to come through. SPF 50 blocks 98% of UVB rays and allows 2 out of 100 photons through. SPF 100 blocks 99%, allowing 1 out of 100 photons through. So while you may not be doubling your level of protection, an SPF 30 will block half the radiation that an SPF 15 would let through to your skin. But the concern with sun exposure is deeper than burn. You want a protection for both UVB and UVA, especially UVA actually. Think of UVA as the bad guy that ranks A in creating damage that goes down deeper and breaks down collagen, elastin, and hyaluronic acid, all the things that make you, young and glowing. For best protection, experts recommend using a minimum SPF of 15, applying the proper amount, which is 2 milligrams per square centimeter of skin, and reapplying every 2 hours. Most people under-apply sunscreens, including myself, and use a quarter to half the amount that's required. Using half the required amount of sunscreen only provides the square root of the SPF. So a half application of an SPF 30 sunscreen only provides an effective SPF of 5-ish. I know it's a bit confusing. That's why the regulatory bodies say sunscreens with a very high SPF of 75 and 100 offer little extra protection, but often mislead people into having this false sense of protection and discourage it. That's the front of your sunscreen bottle taken care of. What else should you be looking for if not SPF number, right? Let's continue. I'll make this as succinct and simple as possible. Stay with me. If you turn to the back of your sunscreen bottle or box, you will see active ingredients listed. UV sun protection filter actives have been described by 2 classifications. Number 1, organic or chemical ingredients that are typically either in liquid form or readily dissolved into a liquid, oil, or water-based medium. And second is inorganic or mineral ingredients that are sometimes called physical sunscreen. These are insoluble metal oxide particulates. Depending on where in the world you live and the regulation in your country, the availability of these ingredients differs. For example, there are 33 active sunscreen ingredients that have been approved by the Australian Therapeutic Goods Administration. If you live in the US, the FDA regulates sunscreen as an over-the-counter medication and currently has 16 UV filters that are listed on the monograph, 14 organic filters and 2 inorganic. Looking at mineral or physical sunscreen ingredients closer, until recently, it's been believed that inorganic particulates disperse and reflect UV radiation to block UVB and UVA, and organic or chemical ingredients absorb UV to convert it to heat before it gets down to the skin layers. Zinc oxide and titanium dioxide are physical sunscreen ingredients. Studies have shown these filters act primarily as UV absorbing materials, contrary to long-held beliefs, and not as UV scattering or UV reflecting material. The average range of reflection for zinc oxide and titanium dioxide throughout the UV range was only 4 to 5%, which is less than SPF 2, providing minimal UV protection by this mechanism. I personally use mineral-based sunscreens that have zinc oxide should have strong absorption against both UVA and UVB. Evidence suggests that few, if any, zinc or titanium particulates penetrate the skin to reach living tissues. I never use sunscreen sprays either, or hairsprays unless I am at the hair salon actually, where I can't avoid it because they insist on it. We could inhale ingredients sprays, and I just don't think that's a good idea. On the other hand, in recent FDA testing, all non-mineral sunscreen chemicals have shown to be absorbed into the body and could be measured in blood after just a single use. They also have noticed many sunscreen ingredients have been detected in breast milk and urine samples. FDA has indicated that the agency does not have enough information to determine whether the chemicals are causing harm, but I personally don't even want to go there because, there is no need, and I'm perfectly happy even with my white residue sunscreens. Mineral sunscreens are less likely to cause irritation than chemical sunscreens as well. The downside to these mineral sunscreens is the white residue that's just not aesthetically appealing, especially if you have darker skin. But considering the alternative, I don't mind waiting a little longer for the mineral white residue to blend with my skin. Also, there are tinted sunscreens that you can find that might very well match your skin color and save you this trouble anyway. Manufacturers are using ultra-fine nanoparticles of these minerals also. These are transparent rather than white, so you may have no issue at all. I'll make another video to recommend some brands that seem to work for me, and you'll see if they work for you as well. Organic sunscreens are often called chemical sunscreens. You know how I feel about this chemical word if you've watched my other video. Everything is made of chemicals, and I don't understand how some things get the label and others don't. Anyway, their mechanism of action is based on their chemical structure involving an aromatic compound conjugated with a carbonyl group. This structure allows for high energy UV rays to be absorbed, causing the molecule to be in an excited state. As the molecule returns to the ground state, it will release the lower energy of longer wavelengths. The specific range of wavelength a sunscreen absorbs will vary. Chemical sunscreens consist of UVB and UVA blockers. Ingredients include oxybenzone, octisalate, and tinosorb. According to studies, all chemical ingredients get systemically absorbed into the body after a single use, which scares me. The FDA also concluded that the risk of using aminobenzoic acid or PABA, para-aminobenzoic acid, and trolamine salicylate outweigh their benefits and has classified them as unsafe. As I mentioned, the FDA recognized zinc oxide and titanium oxide to be considered safe. To be fair and balanced, there isn't enough information to decide whether the remaining 12 are safe and effective at this time. The FDA is currently asking the industry for additional data. Last but certainly not least, you get to decide whether you like mineral or organic or chemical sunscreens. Just make sure it says broad spectrum. Some products might have PA, which is short for protection grade for UVA. This is an important distinction because as we've bit to death, the SPF measures only UVB protection while the PA rating measures UVA protection. If you see the PA protection on the labels, make sure you go for the highest you can get your hands on. 4 pluses is better than 1 plus. Here is what the pluses mean. And don't forget to reapply your sunscreen every 2 hours, as it can come off through sweat or by being rubbed off by clothing. Finally, be sure to check the use by or expiry date of any sunscreen before you use it. If it's out of date, some of the active ingredients may have broken down and the sunscreen won't work as well. And don't forget to shake it before applying if it's not a thick cream. That's it for today. Don't forget to use your sunscreen, subscribe, like, and share this video if you found it relevant. Take care, my friend.